What's going on, guys? Me, Miko, here with another video. So I have a extremely embarrassing story time today that you guys are just gonna piss your pants at. It's so funny. It probably is. Honestly, this is probably one of the most awkward story times I have, and I'll probably tell on this channel. So yeah. But let's just get right into it. You're gonna love it. So leave a like if you enjoyed the video. But yeah, let's get right into it. So this takes place like 2 years ago. I remember I was in 7th grade, and I'm in 9th grade right now. But I was in 7th grade, and basically I was in art class, and I had a lot of friends in this art class. I'd say I had like a good 4 to 5 friends in this art class. But I remember my art teacher, she was like this she was this really cool, honestly she was probably one of my favorite 7th grade teachers, and she was this really cool like old teacher, and she was really nice. But I remember one time we were doing a clay project, and I don't know if you guys have ever done those, but basically you just make like certain sculptures out of clay, and we're in 7th grade, so it's not like we're making hieroglyphics and shit, but I think it was like an animal maybe we were making out of clay, and then obviously it has to dry and we paint it, shit like that. So we're making the clay, or no, I think she was talking about it for a few days because there was a shit ton of details she had to put into it and just how to do it and stuff like that. But I remember one of these days I go in and she's talking about how to make it, and we're just all listening, and she explains how to make it, and then actually she said, well, like a week later, I think when we actually made it, or maybe not a whole week, maybe like a couple of days or something, I think she felt sick or she went on vacation, something like that, but she was out of school for like a week, I want to say, or at least a few days. We had this one sub come in. Now I hated this sub. I have other story times on him. Probably one of the worst subs I've ever had in my middle school experience, because he isn't in my high school. I mean, I don't know, because I'm in 9th grade and I haven't even been into high school because of online school, which is shitty. Yeah, he was probably, I really hope I don't have him like for a sub in high school, but he was in my middle school and I hated this guy. It was so fucking annoying. Basically, he goes in, he's talking, he's like, all right, we're gonna make our clay today, or work on it today. I'm like, all right. So he's basically explaining, and he's just reading off this piece of paper on just what the teacher said, what our art teacher told him how we're gonna make the clay. So he's just reading it off, and I remember my teacher like a week before this, she said, oh, and also, I swear to God, guys, I'm sure she didn't say this, I don't know, I swear I heard her say this though. I swear I heard my teacher say, oh, and also, make sure there's no camel toes on it. Now, if you don't know what that is, search it up. Actually, maybe don't. I don't know how old you guys are, but search it up if you want to. You can search it up if you want to, but it's up to you. So I'm not really gonna get into that, but I swear I thought I heard her say camel toe, but I think she just said like camel hump or like camel bump or something like that. Basically just meaning make sure that there's not a bunch of like bumps in your clay, because when it's done, it's gonna look like shit. So make sure it's straight, because I think we're doing like an animal. So basically it was just saying make sure there's no like bumps or like creases inside your clay project. So this guy says when he's reading off this piece of paper, he's like, oh, and she also said make sure there's no camel humps. And me, being a dumbass, was like, well, see guys, I usually don't talk a lot. I'm a pretty, I don't know, I guess I just don't raise my hand a lot, but for whatever reason, I thought it would be a good idea to point this guy out, and I said, camel toe. I didn't even raise my hand, I just said camel toe, and he heard me obviously, and the whole class did. He's just like, get out of my classroom right now. I'm like, fuck. Like, what the fuck did you do this time, Miko? So I assumed that just meant something bad. And keep in mind, guys, I was in 7th grade. I didn't know what this meant. Once again, if you want to see what it is, just, search it up if you want to. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. But I'm in 7th grade, so I didn't know what it was. And I go outside, just waiting for him. I'm freaking out. I'm just like, fuck, is he going to, like, call my parents? Is he going to, am I going to get suspended for this? What's going to happen? The whole class, my friends were laughing. Because, like I said, I had a lot of friends, and they're all sitting at the same table, because this teacher was super cool, and she'd let us like sit wherever we wanted to, as long as we were being good and we're somewhat doing what we were supposed to. She'd let us sit wherever we wanted to. So I had a bunch of friends that were laughing their asses off, and I was just like, shit, what did I do this time? So he goes outside like 3 or 4 minutes later, and he's just like, so you think you're funny now? That's literally exactly what he said. The first thing this guy says to me is, so you think you're funny now? I'm like, no sir, I don't know what that means. And he's just like, no, please, you know what it means. You know exactly what you did. I'm like, seriously, I don't know what's bad, you know? He was just like, all right, look, I'm not going to tell you what that means, but it's not for school, and you shouldn't be saying that in school, and I'm not really allowed to tell you because I could lose my job if I told you. I was just like, all right. So he's just like, all right, just get in there and just be good. I'll give you a warning just because you don't know what that meant, and just don't do anything wrong. I'm like, all right. So I go back in. He follows me back into the classroom. The whole classroom is staring at me, guys. So my friends, keep in mind, are still laughing their asses off, just crying, and the whole class is just staring at me, super fucking awkward. And then he goes to one of my friends and he's just like, what's so funny? And he's just like, oh, nothing, sir. It was awkward, so I laughed. And he was just like, sure. So that kind of made me feel a little bit better that I wasn't the only one that was kind of, in an awkward sense. But it was mainly me, okay? Like 99% of the class, not even, the entire class was still staring at me. And then he goes on back with teaching, and I remember I was just like, what the fuck does that mean? And the whole class is still staring at me. And I just want to be like, can you motherfuckers like fuck off and like maybe do what you're supposed to? Like, shit. I understand it's awkward, but fuck it. Like, you guys know the feeling of when the whole class is staring at you. It's not a good feeling. My friends are laughing and they're like, orange and black. They keep on saying that. They're like, orange and black. And obviously you guys know what that is, Pornhub. Like I said before, 7th grade, I wasn't really, maybe I was touching down there. I don't know. I probably was, let's be honest. But I really wasn't. I don't know. I kind of knew what they were talking about, but at the same time, I was like, orange and black. They're like, it's a website. I was like, oh, and then I think I got the hint of what they were trying to say. And because I was like, guys, give me hints. And then they said orange and black, and then they said it's a website. But I was still confused. I was like, the fuck, orange and black? What the hell? How does camel toe have to do with orange and black or Pornhub? And then guys, they gave me more hints, and they're like, it's on pants. And I'm like, pants? The fuck? I was still so confused because I'm in 7th grade. I don't know what a fucking camel toe is. I just thought my teacher said that. So right after school, guys, and I mean right after school, I go on my phone immediately. When I get to my locker, I go on my phone. Or no, I didn't search it up then and there because I didn't want people to see. But right when I kind of just get off, right when I'm not in the building anymore, right when I step out of the building, I go on my phone and I'm like, camel toe definition, and it says. Once again, I'm not gonna say, but it says what it says. Yeah, I just face palmed. I was like, oh my fucking god, Miko, you are so stupid. Are you kidding me? You just made a fool of yourself. It's very awkward once I realized what it meant, and I remember I went into the car. I went to my mom's car because she was picking me up, and she was just like, hey, how's your day, honey? And I was like, horrible. And she was just like, oh, why? And I told her what I said, and she was just like, oh, well, do you know what that means? I was just like, yeah, I just searched it up. She's just like, ugh. So that was pretty awkward, horrible experience, not a good one. So yeah, I just remember all of my friends annoying the shit out of me every single day. Guys, they would just be like, they'd just whisper in my ear, camel toe. Hey, Miko, camel toe. Hey, Miko, want to hear something? Camel toe. And be like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're so fucking annoying. Eventually, they stopped doing that. Honestly, they didn't stop doing that for a good, 3 to 4 months. The class, luckily, I didn't really take that class. I mean, it didn't really get spread around the school, but it was mainly just that class that knew about it, I think. They kind of, I don't know, they gave me some weird looks for a couple of weeks, and then they stopped. But yeah, my friends all the fucking time were just, hey, Miko, camel toe. And it pissed the fuck out of me. But anyway, I'm gonna stop the story time here. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. See y'all later. Peace.